When the word miracles is spoken, it is human nature to be skeptical. Here are 40 true-life miracles that may change your mind. 1. The miracle of Lourdes. Thousands of pilgrims flock to the grotto of Lourdes, France each year, seeking healing from various ailments. Many claim to have experienced miraculous recoveries after bathing in the waters believed to have been blessed by the Virgin Mary. 2. The miracle on the Hudson. In 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 made an emergency landing on the Hudson River after both engines failed. Miraculously, all 155 passengers and crew survived the crash landing, thanks to the skillful piloting of Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger. 3. The miracle of Dunkirk. During World War II, Allied forces faced imminent defeat as they were trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk, France. Against all odds, a flotilla of civilian boats, known as the Little Ships of Dunkirk, rescued over 330,000 soldiers in what Winston Churchill called a miracle of deliverance. 4. The miracle of the Chilean miners. In 2010, 33 miners were trapped underground for 69 days after a cave-in at the San Jose copper gold mine in Chile. Despite the odds against them, all 33 miners were successfully rescued in a remarkable operation that captured the world's attention. 5. The miracle of baby Jessica. In 1987, 18-month-old Jessica McClure fell down a narrow well in her aunt's backyard in Texas, becoming trapped 22 feet below the surface. After a harrowing 58-hour rescue operation, baby Jessica was pulled to safety, miraculously alive and relatively unharmed. 6. The miracle of the Andes. In 1972, a Uruguayan rugby team's plane crashed in the Andes Mountains, leaving survivors stranded for 72 days in freezing temperatures. Despite avalanches, starvation, and injuries, 16 survivors were rescued in a miraculous tale of endurance and survival. 7. The miracle of Hiroshima and Nagasaki survivors. Despite the devastation caused by the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II, there are numerous accounts of survivors who miraculously escaped death or recovered from seemingly fatal injuries, defying medical expectations. 8. The miracle of the rescued Thai soccer team. In 2018, 12 young soccer players and their coach were trapped in a flooded cave in Thailand for over 2 weeks. Against all odds, an international team of rescuers successfully evacuated the boys in a miraculous operation that captivated the world. 9. The miracle of the Apollo 13 mission. In 1970, the Apollo 13 spacecraft suffered a critical failure while en route to the Moon, putting the lives of the crew in jeopardy. Through ingenuity and teamwork, NASA engineers devised a plan to bring the astronauts safely back to Earth, resulting in a miraculous rescue. 10. The miracle of Bethany Hamilton. Professional surfer Bethany Hamilton lost her left arm in a shark attack at the age of 13. Despite the devastating injury, she returned to competitive surfing and became an inspiration to millions, demonstrating resilience and determination in the face of adversity. 11. The miracle of the Rwandan genocide survivors. Despite the horrors of the Rwandan genocide in 1994, countless stories of survival and resilience emerged from the tragedy. Survivors who miraculously escaped death or found refuge in unexpected places became symbols of hope and resilience in the face of unspeakable atrocities. 12. The miracle on ice. In the 1980 Winter Olympics, the U.S. men's ice hockey team, comprised of amateur and collegiate players, defeated the heavily favored Soviet team in a stunning upset. The victory, known as the Miracle on Ice, captivated the nation and became a symbol of American resilience and determination. 13. The miracle of Amanda Eller. In 2019, Amanda Eller went missing while hiking in the dense forests of Maui, Hawaii. After 17 days of intense searching, she was miraculously found alive, having survived on water and berries. Her remarkable survival story captured global attention and inspired hope. 14. The miracle of 9/11 survivors. Despite the devastation of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, numerous stories emerged of miraculous escapes and rescues. From individuals who narrowly missed being in the World Trade Center towers to survivors pulled from the rubble days later, tales of hope and resilience emerged from the tragedy. 15. The miracle of Malala Yousafzai. Malala Yousafzai survived a targeted assassination attempt by the Taliban in 2012, despite being shot in the head at point-blank range. Her miraculous recovery and continued advocacy for girls' education made her a global symbol of courage and resilience. 16. The miracle baby. In 1987, a baby girl named Faith Jackson survived being ejected from a car during a crash and landed in a storm drain 30 feet away. Rescuers found her unharmed and dubbed her the Miracle Baby, inspiring hope and belief in miracles. 17. The miracle of the piano prodigy. Blind and autistic, Derek Paravicini emerged as a musical prodigy, astonishing audiences with his ability to play complex pieces of music after hearing them just once. His remarkable talent, despite his disabilities, is often described as a miracle of the human mind. 18. The miracle of the unsinkable Titanic survivor. Violet Jessop, a stewardess on the RMS Titanic, survived the ship's sinking in 1912, as well as the sinking of its sister ship, the Britannic, in 1916, and the collision of the Olympic in 1911. Her remarkable survival from multiple maritime disasters earned her the nickname Miss Unsinkable. 19. The walking miracle. Nick Vujicic was born without arms and legs, facing immense physical and emotional challenges throughout his life. Despite his disabilities, he became a motivational speaker, inspiring millions with his message of hope, resilience, and faith. 20. The miracle dog. In 2003, a dog named Kabang saved 2 children from an oncoming motorcycle in the Philippines, losing her snout and upper jaw in the process. Despite her injuries, Kabang became a symbol of resilience and was hailed as a hero for her selfless act of bravery. 21. The miracle of the golden fish. In 2013, a goldfish named George survived for over a year without food after being accidentally left behind in a tank during a move. Despite the lack of sustenance, George miraculously survived and became a symbol of resilience and survival. 22. The miracle of the survivors of Flight 571. In 1972, a Uruguayan rugby team's plane crashed in the Andes Mountains, leaving survivors stranded for 72 days in freezing temperatures. Despite starvation and injuries, 16 survivors were rescued in a miraculous tale of endurance and survival. 23. The miracle of the sun. In 1917, thousands of witnesses claimed to have seen the sun dance, change colors, and spin in the sky during the Miracle of the Sun event in Fatima, Portugal. The event was reported as a miracle by believers and remains unexplained by science. 24. The miracle of Kosi Johnson. Kosi Johnson was born HIV positive in South Africa at a time when there was little understanding of the disease. Despite facing discrimination and stigma, Kosi became an advocate for children with HIV/AIDS and captured the hearts of people worldwide with his courage and determination. 25. The miracle of the survivors of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami claimed the lives of over 230,000 people in 14 countries. Despite the devastation, numerous stories emerged of miraculous escapes and rescues, giving hope to survivors and inspiring acts of heroism. 26. The miracle of the Berlin Wall's fall. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the end of decades of division between East and West Germany. The peaceful revolution and reunification of Germany were seen as a miracle by many who had lived under the shadow of the wall. 27. The miracle of the Burmese fishermen. In 2015, a group of Burmese fishermen rescued a baby boy who had been floating in the sea for hours after his family's boat sank. Despite the odds against him, the baby survived the ordeal, leading many to believe it was a miracle. 28. The miracle of the teenage cancer patient. In 2014, a teenage cancer patient named Stephen Sutton raised over £5 million for charity before his death. Despite his terminal diagnosis, Stephen's positive attitude and fundraising efforts inspired millions around the world and were hailed as a miracle of hope. 29. The miracle of Flight 232. In 1989, United Airlines Flight 232 experienced a catastrophic engine failure that resulted in the loss of all hydraulic controls. Despite the odds against them, The crew managed to crash-land the plane in Sioux City, Iowa, saving the lives of 185 out of 296 passengers and crew. 30. The miracle of the Star of Bethlehem. The Star of Bethlehem is said to have guided the 3 wise men to the birthplace of Jesus Christ. Although its true nature remains a mystery, the star is considered a miraculous sign of the birth of the Messiah in Christian tradition. 31. The Miracle Mule. In 2004, a mule named Willie survived a 60-foot fall off a cliff in California's San Gabriel Mountains. Despite suffering multiple injuries, including a broken pelvis and ribs, Willie miraculously survived and became known as the Miracle Mule. 32. The Miracle Baby of Hurricane Katrina. In 2005, a baby named Caden Darbon was born prematurely during Hurricane Katrina. Despite the chaos and devastation surrounding his birth, Caden miraculously survived and became a symbol of hope and resilience in the aftermath of the storm. 33. The Miracle Family of Hurricane Harvey. In 2017, a family of 6 survived being trapped in their attic for 3 days during Hurricane Harvey in Houston, Texas. Despite the rising floodwaters and lack of food and water, the family miraculously made it out alive, thanks to the heroic efforts of rescuers. 34. The Miracle at the Mine. In 2002, 9 coal miners were trapped underground for 77 hours after a mine explosion in Somerset, Pennsylvania. Despite the dangerous conditions and lack of oxygen, all 9 miners were miraculously rescued alive, thanks to the tireless efforts of rescue teams. 35. The Miracle Dog of 9/11. In the aftermath of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, a rescue dog named Tracker located the last survivor in the rubble of the World Trade Center. Despite the dangerous conditions and overwhelming destruction, Tracker's miraculous find provided hope and closure to the rescue efforts. 36. The Miracle of Fatima. In 1917, 3 shepherd children in Fatima, Portugal, reported seeing visions of the Virgin Mary. Despite skepticism from authorities and the general public, thousands of witnesses claimed to have seen the sun dance in the sky during the final apparition, leading many to believe it was a miracle. 37. The Transplant Miracle. In 1984, a woman named Claire Sylvia received a heart and lung transplant. Despite the success of the surgery, Claire experienced unexplained cravings and personality changes that she believed were linked to her donor's memories, leading her to believe in the miraculous connection between donor and recipient. 38. The Miracle of the Whales. In 1988, 3 gray whales became trapped under ice in the Arctic Ocean near Barrow, Alaska. Despite the odds against them, the whales miraculously found a small hole in the ice and managed to breathe until the ice eventually melted and they were freed. 39. The Miracle of the Sichuan Earthquake. In 2008, a devastating earthquake struck the Sichuan province of China, leaving thousands dead and millions homeless. Despite the widespread destruction, numerous stories emerged of miraculous rescues and survivals, giving hope to survivors and inspiring acts of heroism. 40. The Miracle of the Lottery Win. In 2003, a Canadian couple won the lottery jackpot twice in one day, defying the odds of 1 in 282.5 million. Despite the improbability of their win, the couple's double lottery win was hailed as a miracle of luck and fortune.